So here it is, 1982 XR500R. Just let's take a quick look around it very quickly first. As you can tell from a distance already, something is sticking out, which is the fact it's got a large capacity tank, and it's a Clarke tank. It's in incredibly beautiful condition. You would say like it's brand new, honestly. I'm not too sure how much mileage this thing has, but clearly it's never been scratched, it never fell. It's beautiful. Other things that stick out very quickly are the bark bursters here, and I've actually started taking some of the things that were on this bike off because they were, in my view, in the way of being able to ride this bike sometime this weekend. There was a mirror here, there was a side mirror that has been installed by the previous owner because this bike is plated and it has a license and it's current, so it's ready to ride, it's ready to go on the road today if I wanted to. And as you can tell, there are things that are absolutely phenomenal on this bike, such as the gear shift lever. It is not even bent. It has never been hurt by a fall of any sort, and I find that quite extraordinary. What else can we have a look at? I'm not too sure what's going on here. This little wire holding the spring here. Never seen that. Maybe it's a trick. Oh, I can see something I've not seen. See this little thing sticking out here? This is indicative of a saver, a protection that's been put at the back there to protect the case from chain slap. That's pretty neat. The chain is rather recent, and so is the rear sprocket. I found the older original sprocket in a box somewhere. And what's also very nice is the fact that it looks like this bike has not been ridden very much because the lettering is not very worn, which is quite unusual. Here also we start seeing some of the electrical arrangements that have been made to have turn signals, blinkers, indicators, whatever you call them in your country, at the back of the car, the back of the bike. I keep calling this a car. And then of course this rather voluminous rear light that contains the rear light, the brake light, and of course the lighting for the license plate at the back. So all pretty neat. Last night I replaced this lever here because it was the one that was on the bike was really mangled up, and thankfully I found a shorty in my supply that could fit inside of this bark buster thing. I don't really like it. I'm going to change that to a black one eventually. Something like this. On the clutch side it's black. I'm not too sure I'm going to keep those bark busters. I don't really like them. It's sort of not very much space for my hands to go in there, if you can see there, right? Anyways, let's progress. So even that part here has never been bent. That I'm impressed with, right? Because usually when you fall, those things are very quick to bend and to go. So very nice so far. There's of course the inevitable oil leak somewhere here. So again, it's not leaking from the rocker shaft, it's leaking from the side of the cover over here, something that is very well known. This bike came with and that's one of the most interesting things about this bike came with what the previous owner described as a White Brother performance kit, which apparently was composed of a Mikuni 36 carburetor, and this obviously is not the Mikuni 36. This is the original Keihin, and I've got the Mikuni in the box that he gave me, and we'll talk about that Mikuni some other time because it's quite there's some really interesting things about it. But it also came with a Super Trap exhaust. You can tell it says at the back Super Trap here. Right, so we're gonna see what sort of difference that makes eventually. Of course on this side again some sort of bracket to fit the blinker that obviously isn't there anymore. Of course, as usual, a little bit of oil seepage around here, nothing to be alarmed about. And down here, an interesting arrangement for this stoplight switch connected by a little spring to the brake pedal, which itself also has never been, it doesn't look like it's been damaged in a fall or anything. It's just absolutely extraordinary. Alright, yeah, there's some wires going up there for the brake light. The tire at the back is still usable, which is great. Obviously something has happened here. I'm gonna have to put this back where it's supposed to be. And the ProLink decals have disappeared for some reason also. Of course the side decals, these are quite sun faded, but that's gonna be easy to fix. I've got quite a few that are already polished anyway. Same thing for the front light, which is broken here. And there's this funny little switch here that was supposedly to switch the light on and off, and it's not connected to anything. And right here was, until last night because I removed it, the turn signal switch to select right or left. There you go. So that's the fifth XR500R. Number 4 is over here. We talked about it before. It's in good shape. That's also a survivor bike, incredibly good condition. And number 3 is somewhere under here with a nice big tire. It's somewhere under here. This one is complicated because it doesn't have documentations, and it would take a fortune to get the registration back for that bike. Anyway, I'm gonna have fun with this one because since it has been modified a little bit, I think I'm just gonna go full Monty on this thing and really equip it with some pretty interesting kit that I've got lying around, like large diameter front fork. I've got some interesting ideas for the rear also, and because of the large capacity tank and the fact that it is plated, I think that I'm really gonna get it set up for dual sport. One thing also that is really cool is that the speedometer is there, and I know you folks are gonna be salivating in front of this beautiful speedometer. And that's it for today for this bike.